Welcome back to another episode of Patrick Draws. Today we're going to be drawing an anime girl. Thanks to Bailey for the suggestion. So let's get into it. So as I'm looking at this anime girl, the first thing I want to do is find my basic shapes. And the head here is going to be a big oval or a circle. So let me just do something like that, and then I'm going to put my divider line down the center for the eyes and down the center for the nose and the mouth to line up. And you can see here that the ear falls below where I normally would put this. Normally I would place the ear right coming off of this line here, but this is anime, so their style is different than mine. Let's look at the hand. I just want to throw like a circle there for the size and position of the hand. Let's throw a little half arc here for where the shoulders are going to be. Let me throw a little rectangle in here for the neck. Let's throw some circles here for the eyes. And they're not even really circles, they're more ovals. Little rectangle down here for the mouth. And let me throw a little rectangle here for the wrist. And now I'm not going to draw the hair yet. Let me just take a quick look. If I pull out the original drawing, you can see it almost looks like a little robot starting to form. And the proportions of this drawing is not exactly how I normally do my proportions, but that's what gives it its own anime style. You got these big eyes, small mouth, lowered ear, small ear. So let me bring back up our drawing. Let's do a little bit more here. So if I'm looking at the hair, I'm seeing from about this point to about here, I'm seeing almost like a perfect circle. Let me do that again. And that circle would continue on something like that, but I'm just going to go like that for now. And then for the back part of the hair here, you can almost see there's a kind of a circle coming through right in there, giving us the arcs here and here. And then you can see what they've done here is they've just reversed this arc in the opposite direction to kind of connect those two shapes. This shape here and this shape here. So that's kind of giving us our hair. Let me throw a little triangle down here. Let me throw a triangle there. And then another little shape in there for that hair. Another triangle here for that hair. And now I'm going to flesh out the hand a little bit. So I know that a palm of the hand is kind of like a rectangle here. So let's just throw one in there. And then the fingers, I'm just going to throw in some more rectangles. And then the thumb, let's just throw in an oval like that. And let's pull the original drawing down again and take a look at what we've got. Now, if I were to come in and do some quick erasing on some of these guidelines that I've done, you can see that things start coming together a little bit. So that's showing us our basic shapes and proportions of our character. And using this as a guide, we can go ahead and create our own anime girl. So let me draw my own version of these shapes over here. So again, let's start with the head. I know I need a decent sized oval there. Let's draw our facial divider lines, and that's going to help us put our eyes in. So this eye, you'll see it's not a perfect circle. It's more of a squished circle, so there's an oval, and it's kind of running through the middle of the eye here. So I need to make sure that it's half and half when I draw that circle, or that oval. And then the other eye is about the distance of another eye in between. And then I'll draw another oval over here. Now, let's go ahead and pinpoint where the nose is just a little, we're just drawing a little line there, nothing major. And then the mouth is going to fall to the right of this line right about here. So I'm just going to draw in our little rectangle for position. And then the ear is about halfway from here, but down. And let's draw in our little oval for where the ear is going to go. And let's take a look here. Let's draw where that hand is going to go. So I know that it's coming right about where the mouth is. Something like that. That gives us our placement for the hand. Our body here, let's just kind of do something like that. The neck is coming out right about here. Something like that. And let's see. Let me throw the wrist in here. I know that it's angling that way, so there's a little rectangle. I'll come back and do the hand. But I want to, let's try and get some of this hair in here. So remember this shape here that I had drawn? So that's kind of coming over the shoulder here. Something like that. And then we've got the bigger circle that goes on top of the skull here. So I know that it's going to be going to start right around where the ear is and curl something over like that. Then let's do our reverse line there, connecting these two shapes. Let's thicken this line up a little bit. And so then I noticed that the hair, it's going to come back like that, maybe down like that. And let's add this little triangle in there. And then another little piece of hair coming there. And then we've got this big curving triangle coming down right about where between the eye and the ear here. And it hits about the shoulder there. Let me do that. Something like that. And then we'll come back later and do some more of the triangles in here for the hair on the bangs. But I want to go back to the eyes real quick here. So you can see how they draw the inner part of the eye. It's not a perfect circle like an actual human eye. It's almost more like a cat eye, how it's kind of squished. So, and if this were to keep going, it would be something. So if you were to continue this shape, it would be something like that. So I'm just going to try and do my own version there. Then I can grab my eraser and just cut that top part off. We don't need that. And then we've got this right in the center there, the pupil. So let's throw that in. And then I like to always make sure I've got a highlight in there. So let's just mark where that's going to be. And let's come over to the other eye and do kind of the same thing. See, that shape would be something like that. Coming off, starting here at the bottom here. And then let's throw the pupil and then another highlight. And then I can erase this. Let's go ahead and throw the collar in there. So it's something like a little rectangle right in there. And let's go ahead and work on the hand a little bit. So I know that the hand coming off of the wrist here, we've got the palm is our main shape there, something like that. And then the thumb is coming out right about here. So I'm just going to put a little oval in there. And then I'm going to just quickly sketch in these fingers here. So I've got 1, 2, and they're coming right off of the base of this. And then we've got this one kind of coming this way. And this one coming that way. And actually, this finger's longer than that one in my drawing, so let's go ahead and clean that up. And you can see that if I were to follow my guideline of this arc here, it kind of shows you how the length of the fingers. And this one may be a little bit too long. Something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of this circle here to see the hand a little bit better. And you can see that the hand now is starting to take shape here. So don't be too intimidated by hands. I know a lot of people are. But if you just take them, one piece at a time, break the hand down into pieces. And that'll help you figure that out a little bit better. Okay, let's take another look here. So I'm noticing that the chin here is coming out and off of this circle here. So I need to do something similar here. Because her head is not a perfect circle. Okay, that's helping the shape of her chin. Let's go ahead and add in some of these. So we've got some triangles here, kind of coming down for her bangs, so something like that. Okay, that's getting us pretty close, so to where I think I can take this on myself here. Oh, I forgot the glasses, so we've got, let's just add a couple of rectangles underneath, kind of going underneath and underneath the eye there, and kind of going through the eye, and then the little arm of the glass and the little nose piece there. Okay, so let's go ahead and erase a couple of these lines so we can see a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's starting to come together. So let's go ahead and start working on our cleaned up drawing. Okay. All right, so let me go back and let's change layers here. I'm going to bring the opacity down on my shapes layer there. And I'm going to switch colors. Let's pick a black. And I'm also going to bring my brush size down a little bit. So you can see, if we look at her cheeks here, they kind of have this protrusion, which I haven't gotten in mine yet. And that kind of goes up to about the middle of the eye. So let's go ahead and add that real quick here. That's where I'm going to start. So I can get that line right. And then I'm going to come back like that. Let's go ahead and add this hair. Something like that. And then, I'm just kind of going where I want to go. There's no specific order to how you draw these things. So I see she's got a little bit of a shape going to her ear there. So I'm just going to do something like that. I think next, let's go ahead and work on the glasses a little bit. And these glasses kind of disappear behind the hair. But you'll see that that arm is connecting. It needs to connect angled towards the top of the ear here. So that's where the eyeglasses sit. And let's just do a little thin line there and another one there. Okay, so the nose is just a tiny little line there. Something like that. Let's go ahead and look at the mouth here. And they've got tiny little mouths, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of depth in there with some shadow. Something like that. Okay, now the eyes are a little complicated, so let's go ahead and try those. So they've got, the Animate is pretty popular for this big, thick line on the top of the eyes. So I'm just going to do something like that. Again, using my underlying red lines as a guide. And they're literally not drawing this underneath line. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Because I like connecting lines, especially when I get into the coloring stage. It makes things a little easier for me. Let's go to the other eye here. Again, we want to go thicker on the top line. Let's go ahead and connect the glasses here. Okay. I might just fill this in with black. So you can make decisions to kind of make it your own drawing. You don't have to follow exactly what the original looks like. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and try and get this hair here. So you can see there's a little bit of a divot here at the top. So let's use that as a point to start our arcs, because it's kind of hard to do a full big circle like that anyway. Something like that. Let's reverse our line. Something like that. Another one there, and then let's reverse that. The other. So the hair here is going to come and just make some Now, to me, this doesn't make any sense right here. The hair is literally going behind her eye, which wouldn't really happen. But, you know, that's the style of anime, I guess. You know, you can make and break your own rules. And if it's aesthetically pleasing, then that's kind of how decisions get made sometimes. So let's just add in a little couple of detail lines on the hair here. And then I think we're ready to move down. Let's go down to the neck here. I think this line needs to be moved instead of here. It needs to be a little bit more over here. And then we've got our collar and shoulder. Something like that. Let's go ahead and work on that hand. Clean this up a little bit. think I need to add a little bit of a curve to this thumb here. Something like that. Looking pretty good. So let's connect some of these lines here. And so I don't see her hair going beyond this, so I'm just gonna kind of connect it myself here, just so that when I go to color this, things will be connected. And let me go ahead and pull down my original red drawing and see where we are. Okay, and this helps me to see I've got some missed connected lines here. And I think I'm getting close to being able to color this. But again, this is the stage where I like to take a step back, clean up anything that's not looking right. It's going to make these glasses a little bit thicker, a little easier to see. Okay. So I'm just going to do a couple of lines here, and this is going to help me make a two-tone eye so that it's a little darker on the top than the bottom. So when I go to color it, I'm going to use that as a guide, kind of help me. And I think we're ready to color this. So let's go ahead and do that now. I know that I'm going to have some trouble here on the shirt. So let me just do something like that. When I go to color it, it won't go all over the place. And maybe add a couple of lines on the hair there. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the coloring stage. So I'm going to basically duplicate this cleaned up rough layer here. Duplicating that layer. And then I'm going to go ahead and call this colors. And I'm going to use that layer to color my drawing here. So let me go grab that brown out of her hair and do something like that. Oh, you know what? I can see right now I forgot the two pieces of hair right here. So let me just do that real quick here. There. That's going to give her something like that. That's going to give us some depth. There. That's going to give us a little bit of depth so that the hair is on the other side of the face. So let's grab a skin tone and just start coloring in some of her skin there. And I can see I missed a little piece of hair there. I'll come back and grab that. Let's go ahead and color the shirt real fast. Okay. And let's go back to the eyes. So I'm going to grab a darker brown there for the top half. Like that. And then I'm going to grab the lighter brown here for the bottom half. And it's not exact. I'm not doing as good a coloring job as they did on the eyes. Obviously, there's some airbrushing going on. But that's getting us pretty close. Let me just grab a little pink here for the tongue. And I need to remember to fill in the whites of my eyes here. Okay. That's looking pretty good. I'm thinking I need to grab that brown here. Again. Fill that in. And if you're using Rough Animator to draw, there's a trick here in the tool options. You can do draw behind or draws behind, and it helps you get in and fill these little nicks that didn't get quite filled in by the paintbrush. And I think I'm pretty happy with that. One thing I'm noticing as I'm looking at this is right here, her eye is actually still covering the hair here, whereas I had the hair go over. And, you know, it makes no sense that the hair goes over the glasses arm here, but not her eyeball. And so, you know, I'm just going to leave it because that's how I drew mine. So yours doesn't have to be exactly like what you're trying to draw, but you're using an image as reference, and there's nothing wrong with that to learn how to draw. I'm pretty happy with this, so I think that'll do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this drawing of an anime girl. Thank you again to Bailey for the suggestion. If you have a suggestion for what you want me to draw next, just leave them in the comments below. This has been Patrick Davidson with Patrick Draws. See you next time.